Greetings to you all, our viewers all over the world. This is Innocent, and with me is a business analyst, Mr. Stewie. And today we would like to look on a topic which is called corporate responsibility. And this topic is of fundamental importance, especially at this time which we are living, times of great uncertainty. So we want to study it together with my partner. Welcome, Mr. Stewie.
Yes, how are you, all of you, our viewers, wherever you are? We have got quite an interesting topic, like Mr. Innocent has said. So we are going to unpack here. We are going to try by our best to be so simplified, to use terms which everyone, all our followers can understand on this topic which we are having today.
Yeah, that's really true. And firstly, I would like to ask you, what is really a corporate responsibility?
Yes, in actual fact, they call it corporate social responsibility in the total of its term.
Yes.
Some, they just call it in short, they call it social responsibility. So whatever the way you might define, we might call it, the definition is very basic. What we are just trying to mean here is to say corporates or companies must be socially accountable. So when we are saying socially accountable, we are saying it must be first accountable to itself as a corporate. So other people might be confused, corporate. In the basic terms, we're just talking of an organization, of an institute, of a company. So what we are saying, or a firm, whatever you want to call it. So what we are saying is, when we are talking of corporate social responsibility, a company or an organization must be accountable to itself.
Right.
That's the first thing. It must be accountable to its stakeholders. When we are talking of stakeholders, we are talking of suppliers, all those immediate players to the organization or a company.
Yes.
And lastly, we are talking of accountable to its customers. Because for a company to run well, it must be having its clients. Some they call it clients, some they call them customers. So to be basic now, I tried to fragment so that everyone can understand. To then try to simplify, when we are talking of corporate social responsibility, we are just trying to say a company must be socially responsible to itself, to its stakeholders, to its customers.
I really understand your position, Mr. Stewie. But now I want to know who really benefits from this input of corporate social responsibility.
That is a very good question. Who then benefits? It's a two-way thing. Let's simplify our variables. Let's just remain with two variables. When I'm saying variables, we just remain with the two factors, the company or the organization and the customers. So when we are saying it benefits both sides, we are saying for a company to run, it will be having a product or a service. We agree, right?
Yes.
So for that product or service to do well, it means to say there are customers who are buying it, right?
Yes.
For a company to make super profits or to do well, it must be supported,
yes,
by the community,
yes,
or by the surrounding people whom we regard as customers, right? So a company cannot go now to partake or to exercise social responsibility when it is not doing well, when it is not performing well.
That's
what
true.
Are we saying? A company, first of all, must make super profits. Are we agreeing there?
Yes.
If it makes profits, maybe on its end of its financial year or to a certain period, so it can sit down and say, for an example, 5% we want then to plow back to the community. This is plowing back is more like they are saying, we thank you, our customers. We thank you for us to be doing well. It was the support from you.
Yes.
So that exercise is regarded as social responsibility, corporate social responsibility on the hands of what? The company is happy. We said both sides. So we are starting from the side of the company.
Yeah.
So we are saying the company would then say, thank you, the community.
Yes.
Okay, it's happy, it's saying thank you. I want just to fragment, to break it down. So that is to the side of the company.
Yeah.
How did they benefit? They benefited by declaring profit. They made super profits by end of a certain period of maybe it might be a financial year or a certain period of time when they check their financial statements.
Yeah.
Right? So we are talking of profits in the hands of what? In the hands of the company.
Yes.
They have benefited. Then, when they say we are taking a certain percentage, let's assume it's 5% or 10% of their total profit. They are saying this portion we want to thank our community for supporting us.
Yeah.
So when they go, there are many things which they can do for their customers, for the community.
Yeah.
They can go and check, okay, on social issues, our community doesn't have a clinic, doesn't have a hospital, a proper hospital.
Yeah.
That is health issues. They might be, the roads might not be in proper condition. They might construct roads. They might make tarred roads. They can also go to an extent to say, no, this area, we have many children
Yeah.
who have potential to do well, but their families are struggling to fund them to go to school.
Yes.
So they can also come with some provision of scholarships, things like that.
Yeah.
We also have the activities like sports.
Yeah, that's
they
true.
might be having a soccer team in that area. Sorry to pick soccer, but we have got many examples of sports activities.
That's true.
It might be soccer, it might be rugby, it might be tennis, whatsoever, as long as it's sports. It might be those athletics, those who run. So what they can do is they can fund a local sports team, be it a soccer team, a soccer club, etc. What am I trying to say when I'm defining these roads, these clinics, these hospitals? I mean, the environment, we need to remember again the issue of environment. We might be having environment degradation whereby maybe some soil erosion or something like that. This now will benefit the community. We talked of company benefiting in ways of profits.
Yeah.
Then to this explanation which I'm talking about now, the community will benefit when that company comes and then build schools, build clinics, build hospitals, construct roads, provide scholarships to those who are facing some challenges. So that is where we talk of a two-way or a both-side benefit to the corporate, to the company, and to the community. It's a two-way.
All right. My question is this an obligation, or are they entitled to pay a certain or a defined amount of money, or they just consider what they are capable of doing?
That's where the aspect of what is called ethics, business ethics, will then come into play. There is no mandatory provision of law in most of the countries.
Yeah.
In other countries, they quantify it into a certain percentage, maybe to say 5% of your total profits or 10% of your total profits must be channeled to social responsibility. But in most setup, it is not like a fixed or a mandatory, but it's an ethical, a social ethical aspect of plowing back to the community.
I get you.
Because what we are talking here, we are saying, if a corporate or if a company is having a product,
yeah,
right, and the community is not supporting that product, is not supporting that service, it means when we are in business, we talk of what is called a product life cycle.
Yeah.
So when we are talking of a product life cycle, a product can reach what is called a stage which is called a product failure, whereby other issues like failure to have support from what?
From the community.
From the community. So the fact that you have made profit It means to say you were being supported by what? By the community,
Yeah,
by your
that's true.
customers,
Yeah.
by your clients.
Yeah.
So it's not mandatory, but at the end of the day, again, ethics, business ethics, you need to remember those people or whatever which have made you to make profits.
That's really
Hence,
wonderful.
companies, they do it by themselves in most cases,
I get you.
and then they promote in a number of social activities the communities which surrounds them.
All right. Another question, Mr. Shui, is now you have told us that one function or responsibility of corporate responsibility is to make sure that they fulfill the responsibility or target different areas of life, maybe sports or tourism, in any way they can support. Is it true that our partners or companies we have can stop to fund or to support other areas and support one specific area, say in this time of great uncertainty?
Yes, you have almost asked yourself. You have almost asked myself, and partly answered. You had to put a question, and then he partly answered that question. So social responsibility covers a broader, a wider. It covers a lot of activities. So we then check are there issues of pertinent or imminent, which needs maybe the attention of these corporates at quick time. So this one. You know, don't want to cut. You look at it. So let's go. Uchazopakata wangoribvunzawo kuti zvizvinoita tofana ngoijoina kuti zvinokonzedwa tanga nezvipi. I'm sure they need to explain. Sanda kukondira unozopaziva 17. Okay, so what I was trying to say, I'm sure we were trying to make it to a PowerPoint presentation, but I'm sure our PowerPoint will try by our best to continue with our PowerPoint on our next, future presentation. So what I was simply saying is, corporates must then now identify agents, those activities which are agents. In this regard, we can then talk of this pandemic. So it means to say other activities which were being socially funded or socially, whereby these corporates were accountable to a number of aspects, those activities, they will stop them. And then they will concentrate with what is imminent. We can have many examples, but I don't know if I answered you on the issue of prioritizing.
Yeah,
activities.
I hear you clearly that there are some events which should be prioritized depending on the time which we will be at. Yes. And I think you can give us examples who are contributing and who are standing to help the community in this time of greater uncertainty with this COVID-19?
Well, the examples are many. We have got maybe corporates which are being run maybe by individual. Yeah. We have got institutes which are being managed at company level.
Yeah.
Yes. So when we can talk of individuals, let us start for everyone to understand us. We can start in Zimbabwe, whereby some few days ago, we read on the media that the Econet billionaire, our magnate, Strive Masiwa, we respect him because he had to take heed of the call.
That's true.
And if we numerically, if we remember it very well, he donated 45 ventilators. And those ventilators, if you check their market value, they are being said to be between 25, 30 to 50,000. So we are talking of close to $1 million, which Strive Masiwa had to inject into Zimbabwe in form of ventilators. We also read about Prophet Angel. Yes, Hubert Angel. We read about donation of 1 million. We don't know now some of these donations. Are they going to be delivered or something like that? If you can check at international level, we've got Rihanna, this musician, through a company, she had to donate to Americans 5 million, which was then broken down into a certain amount. It's close to 700,000 for ventilators, about 4 million for those victims, because we are recording, the world is recording a number of domestic violence. So the 4 million from the Rihanna company is going to then benefit those who have been victimized in houses during this lockdown. So we've got a number, you cannot even finish them. We have got this soccer player at one time when I was reading, Neymar. He had also to pour in a million, if my memory serves me correct. So there are many, but now there are other companies which are quiet. It becomes worrisome now. This is the time we need most or all those companies which are doing well to then come to the party.
That's true. Yeah, another element which I want to ask is about the constraints in participation during this time where we need partners and companies to contribute to this call. You can reference individuals or else corporates. What are the constraints which we are facing, especially as we are needing this kind of participation?
You mean the constraints at the corporate level?
Yes, at corporate level.
I'm sure the issue of social responsibility, that's why at times it's not said to be a must, because when a company is not doing well, it's not, performing well, it won't be reasonable for it now to contribute, because usually it will be practically reasonable when a company declares profits, super profits in most cases, then it takes a portion and then channel it to social responsibility to help communities. So when a company is not doing well, I'm sure that is the biggest constraint to yes.
Or any comment on the World Health Organization, United States of America and China participation currently?
The comment which I can then say in a quick time, since I'm sure you said in brief, is the issue of the American president. These days, a few days ago, we listened to news whereby he was saying he's pulling out from funding the World Health Organization, WHO. This was contributed to the fact that America as a country felt unfairly treated, because somehow they wanted this health body to summon China in some of irregularities which were done. But instead, there were some criticism to Americans or as a country. So myself, when I was checking, I realized that America is the only largest contributor, or it's being said in the news, it's the only biggest contributor. If you can check in total amount, it was contributing close to 700 million, 650 something, close to 700 million.
I get it.
And China was contributing below 80 million, below 100. Okay, so to my case, because this is my opinion. So because I don't want people to censor me, it's my opinion. As an analyst, I'm just pouring it as my own view.
Yeah.
Because on the internet it was trending. Some they were saying what America did was bad. Some are saying it's good.
Yeah.
But to my own case, to my own view, I'm sure what the president of America did was proper, because you cannot frog match the biggest contributor, and then you are favoring someone who is contributing maybe less than 10% of the biggest chunk.
Yeah.
So personally, I can say what America did to me is like to say to that health body to say you need to do your things neutrally and also considering who is contributing. But all what I can summarize now is to say at a certain point of time, we then need to beg and to say sorry to America so that it can back and contribute to the world.
That's really wonderful. Yeah, maybe you can just give us an advice you can give to companies or individuals in these tough times in terms of contribution and participation. One word which you can say to them.
Myself, I just need to encourage companies, those who have managed to declare super profits by the end of their financial periods, to just take a smaller portion or whatsoever portion which they agree to themselves, and then to help our communities, and also to consider those periods of disaster. It might be cyclones, it might be earthquakes, it might be this pandemic, to chip in and help. We don't want to have a situation whereby we've got quite a number of companies doing well, but now when there is an emergency, they disappear.
That's true.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, our viewers. This was amazing to have you here on our platform, and we wish to be with you again in the next episode. Have a good time.